Living with diabetes means you really need to pay attention to your diet, and getting enough protein is a big part of that. But have you ever thought about how focusing on vegetarian protein sources could actually give you some unique benefits for managing diabetes? Plant-based proteins are often packed with nutrition. They're usually lower in saturated fat and calories compared to a lot of animal proteins. That makes them great for managing your weight, which is really important for keeping diabetes under control. Plus, adding these vegetarian foods to your diet can make a real difference in keeping your blood sugar stable, lowering your risk for problems like heart disease that often come with diabetes, and giving you lots of essential vitamins and minerals to feel your best. So let's dive into 9 essential vegetarian proteins that you should definitely consider adding to your meals. Number 1. Lentils, the protein powerhouse. If you're looking for something that really packs a nutritional punch, lentils are definitely winners in the vegetarian world. These simple legumes give you an impressive amount of protein, about 18 grams in just one cooked cup. That makes them a great base for a meal that will fill you up and keep you satisfied. But that's not all. Lentils are also loaded with dietary fiber. Just one cup gives you more than half of what you need for the day. This high fiber is super important for diabetics because it really slows down how quickly your body absorbs sugar, which means more stable blood sugar levels after you eat. Lentils are also a great source of important minerals like iron, which helps with energy and prevents tiredness, and magnesium, which helps with how your insulin works and controlling glucose. And cooking them is easy. Unlike dried beans, you don't need to soak lentils first, and they usually cook up in about 20 to 30 minutes. They're really versatile too. You can throw them into soups and stews, make tasty lentil loaves or burgers, add them to salads for extra protein, or just serve them as a side dish with some herbs and spices. Plus, they're affordable and last a long time on the shelf, making them a perfect staple for anyone with diabetes who's focused on health. Number 2. Greek yogurt, creamy protein source. If you want something creamy, satisfying, and full of protein, Greek yogurt is a fantastic choice. Because it's strained more than regular yogurt, it has a lot more protein, usually around 20 grams per cup, maybe even more depending on which one you buy. All that protein helps you feel full and keeps hunger away between meals. That's really helpful for managing your weight and stopping those blood sugar drops that make you want to grab unhealthy snacks. Now, for diabetics, the important thing is to pick the right kind. Always go for the plain, unsweetened versions. Flavored Greek yogurts can have a ton of hidden sugar that will cancel out the benefits for your blood sugar. So make sure you read those labels carefully. Plain Greek yogurt is also super versatile. You can have it for breakfast or a snack with a few berries for fiber and antioxidants, and some nuts or seeds for healthy fats and more protein. You can use it instead of sour cream or mayonnaise in dips, dressings, and sauces. Or blend it into smoothies to add protein without using powders. It also has probiotics, which are good for your gut health. And that's something scientists are looking at more and more in relation to diabetes. Number 3. Tofu and tempeh, soy-based superstars. Tofu and tempeh are real stars when it comes to versatile soy foods. They both give you complete protein, which means they have all 9 essential amino acids your body can't make on its own. Tofu is made from soy milk that's been pressed into blocks. Depending on how firm it is, you can get about 10 to 20 grams of protein in a half-cup serving. It doesn't have much flavor on its own, which is actually great because it soaks up marinades, spices, and sauces really well. Tempeh comes from Indonesia and is made from fermented soybeans pressed into a cake. It has a nuttier taste and a chewier texture than tofu. It often has a bit more protein, around 15 to 20 grams per half cup, and fiber because it uses the whole soybean. Both tofu and tempeh are excellent choices if you have diabetes. They're high in protein and pretty low in carbs, which helps keep blood sugar steady and supports your muscles, especially if you're trying to manage your weight. A good tip for tofu is to press out the extra water before you cook it. That helps it soak up flavor and get a better texture. You can bake it, grill it, stir-fry it, or even scramble it like eggs. Tempeh is great crumbled into chili or pasta sauce, sliced and fried, or marinated and baked. These soy foods are wonderful alternatives to meat and fit right into a healthy diet for managing diabetes. Number 4. Beans, fiber-rich protein sources. Beans, like black beans, kidney beans, pinto beans, chickpeas, cannellini beans, you name it, are nutritional powerhouses and should definitely be regulars in your diet if you have diabetes. They give you a great mix of plant-based protein, about 15 grams per cooked cup, and tons of dietary fiber, often 15 grams or even more per cup. This combination of protein and fiber is amazing for managing diabetes. The fiber really slows down how you digest and absorb carbs, so your blood sugar rises much more gently compared to eating foods low in fiber. The protein helps you feel full longer, making it easier to control how much you eat. Beans are also full of important nutrients like folate, potassium, and magnesium. Dried beans take some time to soak and cook, but canned beans are super convenient. Just make sure to look for low-sodium versions and give them a good rinse to get rid of extra salt. Get creative with beans. Add chickpeas to your salads. Blend white beans like cannellini into creamy dips or soups. Use black beans in tacos or grain bowls, or make a classic chili with kidney beans. If beans sometimes bother your stomach, try starting with smaller amounts and slowly eat more over time so your body can get used to them. Number 5. Nuts and seeds, nutrient-dense proteins. Don't forget about nuts and seeds. People often talk about their healthy fats, but they're also good sources of vegetarian protein and important micronutrients. Things like almonds, walnuts, pistachios, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds, and flax seeds all give you a decent amount of protein. For example, an ounce of almonds has about 6 grams, and pumpkin seeds have around 9 grams per ounce. Hemp seeds are especially good. Just 3 tablespoons give you about 10 grams of complete protein. Besides protein, nuts and seeds have heart-healthy fats, monounsaturated and polyunsaturated, including omega-3s found in walnuts and flax seeds. These fats can help lower inflammation and support your heart health, which is really important when you have diabetes. Nuts and seeds also give you fiber, magnesium, zinc, and vitamin E. But keep in mind they are high in calories, so controlling your portions is key for managing diabetes and your weight. Try to stick to a small handful, about an ounce of nuts or a tablespoon or 2 of seeds. They make a great snack, or you can sprinkle them on yogurt or oatmeal, blend them into smoothies, or add them to salads for a nice crunch and extra nutrition. Whenever you can, choose unsalted and raw or dry roasted types. Number 6, Seitan, wheat protein alternative. If you're looking for a plant-based option that's really high in protein and has a texture a lot like meat, you might want to check out Seitan. It's sometimes called wheat meat because it's made from gluten, which is the main protein in wheat. Basically, they wash wheat flour dough with water to remove the starch, leaving just the sticky gluten. The result is something incredibly high in protein, often 20 to 25 grams or even more in a 3-ounce serving, and very low in carbs and fat. Its chewy, dense texture makes it a great stand-in for meat in many recipes. But there's a really important thing to know. Since it's made entirely from wheat gluten, Seitan is absolutely not okay for anyone with celiac disease or a gluten sensitivity. If you can tolerate gluten, though, Seitan has a lot to offer in the kitchen. It soaks up marinades and seasonings really well, so it's perfect for stir-fries, stews, sandwiches, slice it thin, grilling, or pan-frying like a cutlet. You can usually find it already made in the refrigerated section at grocery stores, either plain or seasoned. It doesn't have quite the same variety of vitamins and minerals as beans or lentils, but its high protein content makes it a useful part of a varied vegetarian diet for diabetics who don't have problems with gluten. Number 7, quinoa and other protein-rich grains. Even though we usually think of grains mainly as carbs, some grains actually have a good amount of protein that can add up over the day. Quinoa is probably the most well-known one. It's often called a complete protein because it has all 9 essential amino acids, just like animal proteins do. A cooked cup of quinoa gives you about 8 grams of protein, plus a nice amount of fiber, about 5 grams, magnesium, and iron. Other grains worth mentioning are amaranth and buckwheat, which is actually more like a seed but used like a grain. They also have more protein and nutrients than refined grains like white rice. When you add these protein-rich grains to your meals as a diabetic, you do need to think about their carbohydrate content. But the good news is, the fiber and protein in them help slow down digestion, so they usually affect your blood sugar more gradually than something like white rice or regular pasta. Cooking quinoa is easy. It's similar to cooking rice, but it's a good idea to rinse it first to get rid of any bitterness. You can use these grains as a base for healthy bowls with veggies and another protein like beans or tofu. Serve them as a side instead of plain starches, or even add cooked quinoa to salads or breakfast porridge for extra texture and nutrition. Just remember to watch your portion sizes. Number 9, dairy alternatives, plant-based milks and cheeses. Wow, the options for dairy alternatives like plant-based milks and cheeses have really grown. If you're thinking about using them for protein as part of a diabetic diet, you need to choose carefully. A lot of plant milks, like almond, rice, or oat milk, don't naturally have much protein unless the company adds it in. Soy milk is a classic choice that naturally has about 7 to 8 grams of protein per cup, which is similar to cow's milk. There are also newer options like pea milk showing up, and they can pack quite a protein punch, sometimes 8 to 10 grams per cup. When picking a plant-based milk, the absolute most important thing for diabetics is to check the label for added sugars. Always, always choose the unsweetened kinds. Flavored milks can have a lot of sugar that will mess with your blood sugar control. Plant-based cheeses are all over the map when it comes to nutrition. Some are made from nuts like cashews or soy, while others use oils and starches. The protein can be very low or just moderate. Again, read those labels carefully to check the protein, saturated fat, and sodium. These alternatives can be great if you can't have lactose or just prefer plant-based foods. They let you enjoy things like smoothies, cereal, coffee, or cheesy meals while managing diabetes, as long as you make smart choices and avoid added sugar. For a good protein boost, focus on unsweetened milks that are naturally higher in protein or fortified, like soy or pea milk. Adding more vegetarian protein sources to your diet can really be a game changer for managing diabetes better and improving your overall health. We've talked about great options like lentils, Greek yogurt, tofu, tempeh, beans, nuts, seeds, seitan, if you don't have gluten issues, protein-rich grains, and carefully picked dairy alternatives. All of these offer lots of protein, fiber, and essential nutrients. Just remember that variety is important so you get all the different amino acids and micronutrients you need. Keep an eye on your portion sizes, especially with nuts and seeds since they're higher in calories, and with grains that contain carbs. Try to create balanced meals by pairing these proteins with lots of non-starchy vegetables and some healthy fats. When you thoughtfully include these essential vegetarian proteins in your meals, you're taking powerful steps to get more stable blood sugar, maintain a healthy weight, protect your heart, and really live well with diabetes. If this information was helpful for you, maybe share it with others who could use it too. Managing diabetes is definitely a journey, and sharing what we learn helps everyone. Do you have any favorite vegetarian protein recipes? Or maybe some questions about adding these foods to your own diet? Feel free to share them in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you think.